F1 1990. This was one of the most interesting F1 seasons as Ayrton Senna finally got his revenge on his longtime teammate, now a rival who joined Ferrari, Alain Prost. This is not the only sense of attention which brought into F1 that season. Well, turbo engines was banned that season for the first time because it was expensive and a lot of teams wanted to join F1 and also were struggling to drive in F1 because of the financial burden it was becoming. And so they just reduced the costs by just removing turbo engines, which made an insane amount of teams joining that season, which had 19 teams. Imagine 19 teams joining in for F1 that season, and total of 38 cars, which meant pre-qualifying was back, which was qualifying before qualifying to qualify for your race. Like just before qualifying, you had to qualify to qualify. So it reduced the number of cars from 38, like NASCAR would probably do, to roughly 24. So at least like some people won't be able to race. And there was a lot of interesting cars which came by, and also a lot of interesting tactics later on to come with other types of manufacturers which joined in later on. But we're here to talk about one which has captured my mind ever since I first heard about them. And they've been deemed as the worst F1 car ever built. And it's just harsh to say that because this was just a passion. Like the person who made this car had so much passion in having an F1 team. But because of funds and also like it's kind of hard to get a manufacturer to join in if you're not a manufacturer itself. But this car was called the Life Car. And this car was deemed the slowest. So I'm going to put this on the test today as I'm going to test this on Automobilista because the Sesto Corsa like literal mod pack is flipping expensive. Keep in mind the exchange rate for me. But today we're gonna test out this car and actually really see the total speed and the ability of this car's pace in comparison to previous year's cars, and if it was as bad as people say it was, which I'm just eager to see. Here is our lovely beast, the Life Car. And it looks like it does have a body feature like the 1980s Indy cars, just like the back of it. Maybe because the engine and the aerodynamics doesn't seem suitable for racing. If you can look at the other cars, like the McLaren and the Ferraris, which were a lot thinner than this car. But we can even change the engine. We can change the cover. We can have the old retro type. Just put on the default one. And then you can also, I've realized with this car too, it seems like if you look at my previous video, I complained about it, where like it feels heavy. I don't know why, but it just feels heavy. But we're going to be testing this at Imola and just have a more in-depth view of this car. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here we go with our Life Car. It feels a bit clunky for some reason. I don't know why, and the acceleration is so bad. Like I don't even understand. It's like I'm pretty sure a modern day Mercedes C-Class or BMW will beat this car because the top speed is just non-existent. And look at the acceleration. It's full throttle. It takes like 4 seconds to get into 100. But as we just go on the straight, our very first straight here, it just, I don't know, like we're in the third gear and it's not looking good at all. We were clocking 328, 330. That is not good. And even like the braking is so, how can I explain it? Like if you just brake lightly, it just like cuts half the power because this car's not pushing enough power to begin with. But as we approach our very first like out lap here of testing this car, it seems a bit clunky around corners and reaching our top speed. I'm pretty sure the top speed is at like 250 if we can even push it to that length. Or because now this has 5 gears. We haven't even reached the 4th one yet. That's the thing. And also braking here is just, at least like coming up the corners, like you don't lose much traction because you're going that slow. Like I'm just hitting, just like having a light brake. I'm usually driving the McLarens and stuff, but like driving here just doesn't feel right. Like that, just coasting the car a bit, and it's not happening at all. You cross the line here. I don't think when we have a race, I don't think we'll do really well because I'm not gonna lie, those cars kind of struggling. It's very slow with getting up to top speed. No, getting to speed, that's the issue, like in the beginning. As we just cross our line here and having our final test, we're just gonna dive straight into the race now. Right, we're here at Interlagos as we have for qualifying against the rest of the 1990s grid. But I won't lie to you, I'm not optimistic. I'm very, like, I don't even understand if we're gonna have the pace to even qualify, because at least there's no pre-qualifying in Automobilista. But in qualifying here, we're up against everyone else who can qualify, and our car sadly can't even do that. But I'll try my best here. Just getting out the pit box. Now into our blend line, passing that, and here we go. We reach the 4th gear for the first time. That is an achievement. But we should, I predict we'll get 24th. Like, there's no way we can qualify high because it's just we don't have pace. Like, this car's top speed is not existent. Like, look here, coming out the corner, full throttle, and look, we're just not hitting the pace we need through these corners. But I feel like we can, unless someone crashes, we can have a clean lap. But this is ending of our warm-up lap here before we get into our out lap. Let's pray that no one is behind us or something who will like obliterate us from behind. So now what's it, our very first lap coming up here, going on the straight. Of course you've reached the 4th gear again, because Interlagos has a lot of straights which you can hit top speeds. Coming out this corner very slowly here, reaching like 100 through those corners. But we do have somewhat of pace when we're in the straight, but for not really like for that long. We just have to pair up with the other cars as they zoom past us shortly. I think the next like a lap or so, or even this lap, someone can pass us. Like, you never know, that Williams or that Nigel Masters Ferrari could just yeet us here. Coming into these corners, losing a bit of grip here though. We do have potential. I actually discovered this, to at least get within 10 seconds. I think, yeah, 10 seconds is what I'm aiming for. Gap between us and like the last person or the first people, someone who's first. Oh, it seems like someone is coming at us in the next lap or so, and I can't see who it is. But look at that pace. Just look at that pace. Like, I think that's the Ligier, if I'm not mistaken. But he has so much more pace than I am. I'm just a backmarker, and he's one of the backmarkers to the others. As we go on our second lap here, let's try and prove our time, because we are 9 seconds, so it's not too bad as yet. Because we still haven't gone like the Ferraris, McLarens, Williams, the top teams who have qualified yet. Ooh, and there's the Williams just squeezing past us. Trying to reach max revs, but the car is just not doing us justice right now. Going to the corners again, the last few corners before. And you can just see behind us on the map, there's more coming at us. There's a lot more people coming at us. By the end of this lap, though, definitely would have overtaken us at some point. As we get into a break zone, little bit of understeer there. But look at them, just ripes through us, just goes way too quickly compared to us. We're in the third gear, and he's probably like clocking his fifth gear. And there's the other one going around. I don't even know if we can even do better. Ooh, and someone has gone off the track in front of us. And oh my gosh, there's a crash. It's a definite crash, so we might have at least someone behind us as a back marker. But I feel like we're not gonna improve this time, so we're just gonna skip this rest of the session and see who actually qualifies ahead. Ooh, and then there's another person who almost crashed into us. But we'll see who qualifies where and if we actually beat someone. Ladies and gentlemen, here we are. Of course, we are lost. Wait a second. We beat someone. I think that guy crashed earlier. But we're ahead of someone. But as it goes, green lights for us, and it's a good start from us. In fact, a little too good, and then look at the speed they have. We just can't compete. Like, we can't compete. As we approach our first corners in Interlagos, the caution, and that's the Ferrari of Nigel Manston, who just spun out. Ooh, there's a bit of spinning going on there. But we're gonna lose our positions really quickly. Because you can see Nigel, we can't even defend him. And it seems like we are back in the back of the grid again. So that is something enjoyable. We're trying to get as much pace as possible through these corners, which, like, I feel like we just have to coast through some of it, because braking is just being a hindrance to us more than actually accelerating. I know that sounds bad, but like, we gotta do what we gotta do to get some pace from this thing. And the guys who just had a little bit of a crash in the beginning are right behind us now. That is lovely. So it's the braking zones as we're about to complete our first lap, and look at him. He is just catching up to us very quickly. And look at how fast they are. Like, compared to us, which were clocking 235, they're already in way different leagues than us. Like, this car is a Formula 3 car, I'm telling you now. Oh, and there's a bit of a battle right there. Can we catch up to them though? We might with corners. We take them slightly faster than we recommend to be. There's a yellow flag. What happened? Oh, they're just fighting each other off the track now. That seems like a really good battle in front of us, but we can't like join in because look at us. Just we clock here at 235 average. We have some pace through the corners, and then just accelerating is the issue, because we can't get enough life out of that engine, no pun intended, through these corners from this car. But as we go into the main straights, look at them just pull out even more in the straights. They're faster on the straights than I am with corners. Like, we go off track a bit there as we're counting down to the final lap now, and we literally were 3 places above from where we qualified, but now we're back where we started from. But hopefully someone gets DNF'd or crashes or something. Okay, this is the last lap here, and it's a yellow flag already. Is there anything? Oh, it seems like someone just spun out there, but he's joining in. So we can at least get P21. Can this happen? Can this fairy tale be true that this life car can beat an actual faster F1 car from the same era? But look at him. He just got so much pace compared to us. We just need to check behind and see where he is. I think he's going to make a lunge within the next 2 laps or so. I mean 2 corners, sorry. We need to make sure we need to defend him as much as possible. Even if we have to ram him, we might have to do that, because he's right down our necks. Come on, and okay, he's lost a bit of pace here, but he's gonna catch up here. Look at the length. Oh, and he comes through the inner side for us, and we've just lost it again. Oh no. Back again to P22, unfortunately, for our life car, as this is just depressing, you know. But it was a good race for us. Alright guys, although we didn't get our desired position of P21 or beat someone, it was interesting, quite lovely to drive this car, although it's annoying. But it was fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like this, please like and subscribe. It'll help us greatly. And I'd like to say goodbye and see you soon. Take care and goodbye.